Coming up in the news, fire erupts once again in the International Bazaar. A teen gunned down in PINDERS Point. And it is beginning to look a lot like Christmas as hundreds turned out for the Port Lakaya Christmas tree lighting ceremony. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Jameelha. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news, investigations are continuing tonight into a fatal shooting in the PINDERS Point community. The incident taking place on Friday night, claiming the life of a juvenile. Megan Shepard has details.
Grief counselors called in at the Beacon School Monday morning to meet with members of the teaching staff as they mourned the tragic death of a student who was gunned down in the PINDERS Point community. Reports say 17-year-old Kevon Jean was shot and killed near a business establishment shortly after 8 p.m. on Friday night. Assistant Superintendent of Police Stephen Roll telling the media while at the scene that police are still trying to determine a motive for the fatal shooting.
As a result, uniform and plainclothes officers responded, and upon their arrival, initial reports indicated that a juvenile male, while in this area conducting some mechanic works to a vehicle, he would have walked across the street. And at that time, he was approached by a male armed with a firearm who would discharge several rounds of ammunition in this direction, shooting him a number of times about the body. EMS attended the scene and found no signs of life to the juvenile male.
Roll says officers are following leads and are appealing to the general public for any information.
The police are following some leads in this matter, and hopefully we'll bring this matter to a close very soon. I want to urge to members of the public who may have any information in regards to the incident tonight to please contact the Criminal Investigation Department at 350-3106 or 911 or 919.
While the motive for Friday's fatal shooting is not known at this time, it follows a double murder that occurred on Thursday, November 25th, and a quadruple shooting on Friday, November 26th, that left 4 young men in hospital. ASP Roll is continuing to urge young men to find a better way to resolve conflicts.
What I can say is that we want to continue to urge the public to find ways to resolve conflicts. We have a lot of young men out there who may find themselves in possession of illegal firearms. And if police are aware of these firearms and these police possession, the police can contact your nearest police station so that these guns can come off the streets and we can save another life in the Bahamas.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, police have issued a bulletin for 28-year-old Draxton Dominique Bellany, a resident of Frobisher Circle and Jonestown 8 Mile Rock. Bellany is wanted for questioning on the charge of murder. Police say he is about 5 feet 5 inches to 5 feet 7 inches tall, between 140-150 pounds, dark brown complexion, and average build. If you know the whereabouts of Draxton Bellany, give police a call at 350-30146, 352-1919-911, or the nearest police station. In other news, also from ABACO, police are investigating the circumstances surrounding a drowning incident in waters off ABACO. Reports say around 4 a.m. Sunday, officers in Sandy Point received reports of a sunken vessel in the area of Hole in the Wall, Sandy Point, with 4 men on board. Initial investigations revealed that the vessel, a 65-foot tugboat, was en route from New Providence to Cooperstown, ABACO, when it began to experience mechanical problems in the area of Hole in the Wall. The captain made a distress call and the vessel started to take on water and sank, resulting in the 4 men abandoning the ship. The U.S. Coast Guard located the men and placed rafters along with a radio set to the men. Additionally, BAZAAR, a private aircraft, and a private vessel also assisted in the rescue of the 3 men. The 4th was deceased. They were all taken to the Marsh Harbor Clinic, and investigations are continuing. Investigation is underway into an apparent suicide in ABACO. Police say initial investigations revealed that around 1 p.m. on Saturday, persons in Hopetown, ABACO observed a Caucasian adult male hanging from the wooden beam on the front porch of his residence. They attempted CPR but were unable to revive him. EMS personnel found no signs of life, and the victim was taken to the Marsh Harbor Clinic, where he was pronounced dead. And the Ministry of Education confirming that the final day of school for the fall semester will be on Friday, December 10th. The ministry also confirming that the end of term examinations will not be held this semester. Additionally, report card day schedule for Thursday, December 16th has been postponed. The last working day for teachers for the fall semester is Friday, December 17th. Now all teachers will return to work on Tuesday, January 4th, 2022. And as for students, it is anticipated that students will return to school using the hybrid learning format on Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. That date is subject to approval by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The Ministry of Health noting that further details related to the engagement of students in hybrid learning platform, the conduct of student assessment, and the new dates for the National Report Card Day will be provided at a later date. And this just in, another fire in the International Bazaar. Thick, dark smoke could be seen for miles this afternoon as buildings in the dilapidated shopping center were engulfed in flames. The International Bazaar has become a home for vagrants over the years, and now many are concerned about these frequent fires and the potential danger involved. Jay Philippe was on the scene.
It was shortly after 4 p.m. today when our ZNS News team received information that a fire had erupted once again at the International Bazaar. Now we caught up with the Royal Bahamas Police Force, who gave us this update. It is the 3rd fire in the International Bazaar within the past 2 weeks. Shortly after 4 p.m., huge flames of smoke could be seen in the air around the bazaar, which was once the popular international shopping mecca that has been abandoned for more than 10 years. This latest fire was just a short distance away from the initial blaze that occurred in the Indian Sectoral on November 21st. Fire crews arrived at the scene shortly after the blaze ignited and called for assistance. We spoke to Fire Chief Eli Araska at the scene.
On arrival, fire personnel would have met one of the single-story structure fully engulfed in flames. They would immediately started an attack of the fire. And again, as a result of the close proximity of the various businesses and the way the structure is laid, we called for additional resources from our mutual partners, be it the Grand Bahamas Shipyard as well as ABACO, to assist in trying to contain this fire at this time. It's still early in the investigation, but we do know that we had some persons throughout the course of the week who was lighting copper, persons indiscriminately lighting to keep warm during the cold period that we would have had. As a result, this wouldn't have been the first instance that the fire department would have been called here at the bazaar. It may be on a smaller scale, but at this time now we would have gotten a call and saw that it was a larger fire than previously stated before.
While fire officials have not determined the cause of the blaze, and many are asking what could be done to ensure that this doesn't happen again, as it could pose a serious threat to surrounding business.
Once we would have extinguished our fire and concluded our investigation, then we would make sure that the building is at least as safe as possible, for persons who may still traverse the area. But we want to advise persons not to frequent the area because, again, it's still unsafe because you would have different chemicals that have been exposed now because of the fire. Different elements from the building, nails and the likes. So we want to make sure persons don't come in here. We'll also have patrols, just to make sure you don't have persons walking around trying to even steal more materials out of the building and destroying the building even more.
The fire chief also added that the Royal Bahamas Police Force and its fire unit will continue to closely monitor the area daily with hopes of eliminating another possible fire.
It's an open structure. The fire department, we won't personally be the ones responsible for protecting the building, so to speak. The only thing we could do is, in the event of somebody lighted again, or it catches a blade, we respond. That is our job. But we can't say that we will be the ones protecting it from vagrants. Again, we have different entities that will be responsible for that. Again, the police itself will try to patrol the area to make sure that we don't have persons just coming onto the property and doing whatever they feel like.
Investigations are continuing into the cause of this latest blaze. I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, there's more news right after this break.